And item number 14, job creation and business development agreement with Geyser Technologies LLC. City Council consideration of an incentive grant agreement between the City of Montrose and Geyser Technology LLC. City Manager Bill Bell, please.
Hi. I'm filling in for Chelsea Rosti, who could not be here tonight, but I think we'll get through it. We have several knowledgeable people in the room. We have Sandy Head here from Montrose Economic Development Corporation and Jonathan Ballesteros. Did I say that correctly? Excellent. From Geyser Technologies. So I'll run through the agreement that's in our packet. Just for everybody's benefit, the City Council and some URA board members did a meet and greet with Geyser, feels like several months ago now. And then we had a negotiations meeting, an executive session, as well as the last work session and a public meeting. So now the agreement is before City Council for action tonight. It's on page 182 in the packet is where we start the agreement. And so depending how you want me to start with this, or would you like to have Jonathan tell a little bit just in general about his business, and then we can get into the agreement? That's up to you, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, yeah, I'd be happy to hear from Jonathan. Then I think for council, I'd like to go through this page by page. I understand that there are several that have questions. I have quite a few questions, and I think the best way to do it is to start at the beginning of the contract and work through it to the end, and signify if you have a question on any particular page. Jonathan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City Council. Thank you, Bill and staff. Geyser Technologies is a company that is out to make the most of every drop of water in situations where water is very limited. We have several products that are currently getting launched in the consumer outdoor gear space. Very exciting. Planning to launch in 146 REI co-op stores with a hot portable shower that uses less than a gallon of water. It's something that, coming from Outdoor Retailer, which is one of the largest trade show in the country of the year, has generated quite a bit of excitement. We are originally born and bred in Austin, Texas, and decided that we would like to go ahead and move our manufacturing center as well as our headquarters here to Montrose, considering the wealth of talent and also the available opportunities that are coming here to rural Colorado, as well as Colorado's in general. I had the delightful opportunity with working with several of you, including with Bill, and understanding what it is that we can do to make not only Montrose, but even the state of Colorado a beacon of hope for one of our most precious resources, and also generate some real exciting new innovations in areas that really need it most, such as outdoor gears for our military, for senior living citizens, and also natural disaster relief. So I, of course, open council to any questions, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much.
I'm curious where the 98 net new permanent jobs came from. You know, I was looking at the packet from Mayfly yesterday, and it seemed to me in that packet it said that Mayfly was going to create 54 jobs in 5 years. We know that they're asking for an extension, which means they must not have achieved that. Is there a single business that has come to Montrose, even in the last 10 years, that has created 98 jobs in 5 years? And where did that number come from?
I think that came from Jonathan, so I would have him answer, maybe talk about your job creation plans.
Mention the types of jobs too, Jonathan.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City Council. First and foremost, it comes from a go-to-market strategy that includes certain volumes of product that are being sold, and that go-to-market strategy, which drives the staffing as well as the financial model, will ultimately, was ultimately reviewed by a variety of industry experts as well as advisors, and said there's plenty of room for upside. The kind of jobs that we're going to be hiring, a bulk of that will be manufacturing, but also another bulk will be high-paying quality jobs such as engineering that we will need to continue developing new products and launch new products in a variety of different industries. So the current flagship product that we have as the Geyser system will need technical support as well as quality control systems to push that forward, as well as sustain the new technologies that will unfold with it. And then when we develop other technologies, in which we've already got a fourth revision of a prototype called the Pup Scrub, and also a miniaturized version of our flagship product today, the Mini Geyser, we're going to be hiring more people to not only launch those products, but also provide the technical support behind it. So, and then over the course of the 5 years, we plan on going international. So one of the reasons why we decided to come to Colorado, and in particular to Montrose, is because of the free trade zone agreements that are unfolding in this area, as well as the opportunity zone. And that's going to, of course, keep us here over the long term. But most importantly, over the course of the 5 years, we plan on exporting this product internationally. In fact, the idea was born in Australia, and a variety of distributors have already sent letters of interest and are very excited of launching this product in Australia. And we also have several distributors that are very excited about launching this product in Canada. So we're actually ahead of schedule to our go-to-market strategy that I was alluding to, that shows the kind of progression of volumes that we need, as well as the headcount support. And I will just mention that currently our staffing figures would show that we are supposed to be having 6 full-time jobs. We currently already have 8, just to keep up with this growing demand that's unfolding in areas that we plan on tapping into in the next couple of months as well as years. There's already been some demand and interest that we're already anticipating, and we have to account for. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question completely, but it's all based off of the volumes that we anticipate unfolding.
You mentioned manufacturing jobs. When you were here at a work session 2 weeks ago, you mentioned paying $12.75 an hour for your manufacturing jobs. When you came to our work session, you said that it would be in the neighborhood of $35,000 a year. $12.75 is $25,500. You're like 10 grand off. Explain that.
Of course, absolutely. So first and foremost, we are in this very interesting position where we are going from zero to hero. We were just a startup. We didn't have any previous revenue. We've identified a key real problem in the base camp and outdoor camping gear in general. And REI heard our insight as well as market validation and said, these guys have actually identified a real problem. Hot showers is something that they foresee really in big demand. Typically, they only launch a startup between 5 to maybe 35 stores. They are anticipating to launch us in 146. It just speaks to the kind of problem that we've identified and the creative way that we've solved it. Now, having said that, we're still in this really interesting position currently where we're still a startup and we're still in very much a tight cash flow position in which we have to make the most of every dollar and we have to maximize on our runway. Just to give you an example, everyone, including myself, is getting paid $12.75 an hour. I'm not making any more money than anyone else. In fact, I'm the last person to eat. I've actually skipped paychecks just to keep this company rolling so we can get on the other side of this product launch and this purchase order. So my crew eats first, and as we grow our company over the course of this year and achieve a successful launch, we anticipate, of course, not only enhancing those salaries for our crew, but also expanding on providing some outstanding benefits and making our company one of the best places to work for in the Western Slopes.
But right now, in the county of Montrose, our poverty rate is 20%, maybe more. About half our kids are on free and reduced lunch. I don't see how paying people $12.75 an hour begins to solve the problem of workforce housing, affordable housing. And right now, that's a real crisis for us.
Yeah.
How does $12.75 help this community deal with the poverty we have?
Dave, I think you're missing the point here, because this is a startup, and I've worked with hundreds of startups in Silicon Valley, and you have to start out with what you can afford to pay, and you give these people ownership, part ownership in the company in terms of stock or whatever, and as the company gains sales and becomes more successful, he'll raise these salaries, and these people will be among the best paid in Montrose.
I want to be clear.
Am I close to right,
Yes,
Jonathan?
Mayor Bowman, I just want to share some perspective as well. That is, the $12.75 an hour is a temporary position. We, of course, want to launch a company that grows those salaries this year after we get on the other side of a successful product launch. With regards to the people who are hit hard economically, I have a lot of empathy for them. I've been living in the back of a van for 2 years. I've been putting all my rent money behind this company. And I can also state that I'm right now living in the back of a trailer, used, and I'm doing it on somebody's property. I know that pain, and I know what that looks like. And I'm even willing to make sure that those people who are going through the same sweat and grind are able to eat before I do. And I'm in it to grind it out, knowing and having a lot of empathy along the way that this product actually can make a lot of difference for those people who are hit by hard times. Let's make no mistake. San Francisco rent prices, Denver rent prices, Austin, Texas rent prices, they're coming up. I look at people in the Walmart parking lot, and I know what that was like because I lived there once. And so I want to make sure that my crew doesn't have to face those hard times again like I did. And I also, for those people who are there right now, they don't have a chance to reset in their life. This product will give them the opportunity to do that. And I'm really proud of, being able to give people a means to enhance their life, even though they cannot make ends meet and they're living in the back of a van, because I was there once. So right now, I understand that we're right now putting a lot of sweat equity in it. Believe me, I've been putting on that sweat equity for a couple years now. But I'm really excited that this is going to be a growing story of success for not only our community, but also other communities around the world.
And I want to make it clear that this contract does not, we are not looking at incentivizing jobs paying $12.75 an hour. In fact, I'll read you exactly what it says in the contract. And that is that jobs of $49,973 a year would be incentivized at the $5,000 rate. Jobs of $46,129 would be incentivized at $4,000. And jobs of $42,285 would be incentivized at $3,000. So I just didn't want anyone to think we were talking about incentivizing jobs that pay $12.75 an hour.
Jonathan, are you providing any kind of health insurance for your people?
Currently, no one nor myself isn't obtaining health insurance. But that is a thing that we plan on changing in the middle of this year.
Well, I'm just trying to, if this is such a great idea, why does the city government need to put in $200,000? Where's the capital, the venture capitalists, the investors out there? You would think they'd all be just waiting in line to invest in this.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I would be very happy to share where we stand, as well as what has been the challenges as a business owner, and then what I see ongoing in the future. Currently, we have an investor who wrote us a $300,000 check, and one of the reasons why we accepted her investment is because she wants to set precedent against other investors who are looking to make a quick buck. Her objective, as well as mine, is to make a positive impact on the community. Her name is Susan Wyman. She's making much forward progress on her mission through the Gunnison Community Capital Group. And we're a shining example of what is possible when community-minded investors come together and make a positive impact on the community and creating jobs. On that note, I would like to say the current conditions in the venture capital side has been really interesting. Number one, we as a hardware player, it's very difficult to obtain funding when you're competing against a technology company. And that's one of the reasons why we chose Montrose, is because it's rich in manufacturing as well as talent that is looking for those kind of jobs, manufacturing jobs, that have got a lot of experience in that end. However, having said that, these investors that we've been interacting with, and we've gone through quite a bit of due diligence, their objective is, of course, to 10x on their return in 3 years. That's what they would like to do. And what that also means, and the ones that I've spoken to, they are very eager to introduce us to the likes of Johnson Outdoors. a very large global and very, very well-known company that has done outstanding forward moves in innovation, most especially in acquiring innovative companies that come up with the new technologies such as the one that we have today. And what they would like to do, I'm not sure what Johnson Outdoors would like to do, but should they acquire us, they of course want to maximize on their return on their investment. And what that may look like is by having those jobs and the people that sweat hard in the company, growing this company as well as in their community, getting those jobs overseas and out of the state that would most benefit from a larger corporation like the one that I just mentioned as an example. So we are very, very tight with the funds that we're making available today, but we're also not being very liberal with the kind of funds that we would accept from a VC, because we want to make sure that they come to the table with a very community mindset. They're in it for the long term, and they're not here just to simply introduce us to a large corporation and get the jobs out. I recognize, as the CEO and the founder of this company, that this is the community investing in us. And when we accept somebody else's investment, we want them to know that we have a fiduciary responsibility to the community of Montrose, and that we're here for the long term, and that our objective is not to leave Montrose, nor the state of Colorado, nor ship those jobs overseas to China. We're here to keep those jobs here, and we're going to only accept investors who align with that objective. And that's one thing that is very hard to come by right now. These funds that you're providing us is very interesting, because it provides the strategic play to keep that voice and that vote in the owner of the business, to allow me to control this and steer the company to keep those jobs here, as opposed to VCs who are breathing down, let's say, my neck or pushing me towards voting, getting those jobs out. And I think that if we are able to obtain this agreement and get these and obtain this agreement from you, City Mayor, we'll have a much greater chance of success of keeping those jobs here over the long term.
And I'd honor a motion.
I will make a motion to approve an incentive grant agreement between the City of Montrose and Geyser Technologies LLC as it's been presented.
I'll second that.
Please vote. And that passes 4-1.